Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 367 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined as always by my mainest man, who is to my left. He is in studio. He's the pride of Easton, Pennsylvania, and his name is Willie Saylor. He's wearing socks and slides because of gout, but he's here. He made the walk.
I walked the walk.
The walk
The walk took a long time.
It took a little bit.
I was getting passed by
octogenarians,
obese people and geriatrics in the airport.
Sorry about that. But, hey, you're here. We're glad you're here. You're here, what, till Saturday?
Here till Saturday, bud.
All right, that's awesome. But you're not coming to Monster Trucks.
No, I didn't know about the monster trucks.
All right. You've been knowing, but, yeah, it was kind of a late change in plans. Bracky's going. Nomad is not going.
Bracky, you're going to get film evidence of this one here at Monster
for sure.
Truck?
When we first were talking about going to Monster Trucks, we told Nick V about it, and he was like, our IG stories are going to be lit. Like, that was his first thought.
Yeah, he's right.
Okay, so where do we want to start? I don't want to start with Dillon Danis because Nomad might punch us all. He hates Dillon Danis.
Well,
he hates him
first
the
of
most.
all, we're starting with Dillon Danis because you said we ain't starting with Dillon Danis.
Well, we're not. We're not starting with it because I don't want to get him mad.
Don't get Nomad mad.
Nomad.
No, it's just, I mean, the only thing I want to say about it is he just keeps talking his way, not talking his way into things, but it's like, I don't know, some of those UFC fighters, they just try to like talk something into existence. Mm-hmm. Like he's nobody that needs to be.
He has a fight May 11th.
No. In what, Bellator?
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll look it up.
Okay, so he's fighting in Bellator.
Well, it would be 5 days. He would wrestle the match and then in 5 days.
Yeah, but he keeps talking about wrestling. Why does he keep talking about wrestling? Because he qualified for a state tournament one time?
I thought he didn't.
I don't know.
Or maybe he DNP'd.
I think he qualified and went 0-2.
Okay. Well, more than I can say. So, anyways, Willie was on the ground getting some officiating intel for us, and
Nomad was there too.
Oh, Nomad was there too, but I haven't heard about it from him. I heard about it from you. So give us the deets. Before that, though, I want to say, I think next year we're gonna change how we're handling officiating. We're gonna add some stuff. I think we're gonna have like an on-site official for a couple of events to talk over stuff, kind of like Gene Steratore did.
Mm-hmm. You say we, you mean FloWrestling?
Yes, I don't mean
sweet.
And then I'm not sure.
I was like, wait, are you talking about what Willie's about to say or us? But that's great.
Got it. Yeah. So that, and then I was also thinking like maybe a weekly FRL segment where the official will come on and we'll just yell about all the things we're mad about. And we'll show the clips and he will say why we are wrong. Yeah. Or maybe he'll even say, hey, you know what? You're kind of right. They missed this. They messed this call up here. So I think it's gonna be cool.
You ever seen in NFL when they have those guys on? Like they have what's his name? Mike Pereira. The only thing I don't like about him is like he almost 99.9% just covers up for the call in the field.
Yeah, I hate that.
I mean, sometimes there's clearer things.
That's where I think this will be my role, or perhaps yours. When they do that, be like, no.
Yeah.
They need someone to push back on Mike, so we can do that.
But yeah, I think having a guy on a call at the event or having him on the show would be a great thing. And I don't know, I think wrestling officials would probably be a little bit more open than a Mike Pereira who's just covering up for his buddies. But now I don't know how much of this is going to go through, but me and Nomad were talking to a couple people at NHSCA's, and it sounds like there are a number of things. I don't want to say on the table because they're obviously on the table, but that have a good chance. Did it not sound, Nomad, like as if it was moving in a direction where it was almost a certainty?
What?
The hands to the face thing is going to get remedied.
How are they going to remedy it? Because nothing changed. They just said, let's start calling it.
Right. And I think they're going to, I don't know, maybe de-emphasize it. Because here's the thing. I don't know if some people overlook this fact, but no rule changed last year.
Right.
No rule changed. There was nothing added or taken away from the rule book that said hands to the face will now be a penalty. Right. It's always said that. The officials in the beginning of the year or some off-season meeting got together and said, we're going to emphasize this.
Yeah.
So what the reason for that is, I don't know, but they sure as heck emphasized it all season.
Well, that's what my question is, what are they going to do to change it?
I don't know
what could they do? They could take it out of the rule book?
I don't know if they're going to de-emphasize it and say it's only in an egregious situation.
I think the making it a warning is an idea as well that they're going to investigate. So point for the warning, and then a point if you do it again type situation.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It sounds like that's definitely being addressed. Third-party review sounds like it's almost definite go, where they'll have an independent review. This is for NCAAs, not anywhere else. Although
you can have it,
can have it anywhere, right?
Who decides?
It's a matter
Does
of
the
cost.
school decide? Hey, yeah, we want two, or yeah, we want two and an independent review for this duel, or what? How does that work?
I believe it's per school. I mean, I believe it's up to the hosting institution. However, NCAAs, that's up to the NCAA.
Remember when Iowa, Oklahoma State had one ref?
Yeah.
That we had never even seen before? That was really messed up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I do believe it's the host institution, and so like Kerry Cole, I was saying, the SoCon had one, right? And there have been other important duels where they had third-party review, and tournaments where they have third-party review. So you have the leeway to. I don't think it's at NCAA's, if it's anything to do with like cost or anything like that, they should be like, yes, this is well worth the money that would be put into it to get the calls right.
Yeah.
Well, right.
It's not even just that. It's just like, why would you have something, if you're going to have something like that in your rules that you can do it and you don't have it for the biggest, most important thing, you just look like a joke. Not only is like just getting the calls right, but just like from an optics standpoint, how can you like say, because basically you're setting yourself up big time when you say, all right, you can do this, but we're not going to do it.
Yes. You can do it, but at the biggest event, we're not doing it.
We're not doing it. You kidding me?
Yeah.
We're just going
and I mean, I don't think it's about cost. I think it. Sometimes you have to hit a point where it got to what it got to last year at NCAAs. You have to hit a point where people throw up their arms and they say, "All right, now this got to change."
Yeah.
So I think that's what's happening. It sounded to me like it was very likely to go through. And then there is going to be discussions, and I think at some point changes in the out of bounds stalling. I don't know what exactly. We were talking to McCormick, one of the top officials in the country. This is a separate. We would talk to a lot of people, but at one point we were talking to McCormick, and I thought that he had a really interesting, very, very viable rule situation, proposal. What about this, Christian? And maybe I didn't think about some of the consequences, but instead of these stalling, these vague stalling or nebulous stalling calls on the edge, and instead of a push out, like a straight push out, he said, I think it would be a good idea if both feet are out. Both feet have to be out. If both feet are out, it's a stall or it's a point. That way you don't lose the edge wrestling.
Right. I don't think you. I mean, my personal opinion is that you don't lose it with 1 foot out either. I don't think you lose it.
Yeah, maybe not. But
I just think freestyle out of bounds, whether you want to make it a point or not, it could be a warning. I'd be fine with it just being a warning and then another one. But I think you can have those great exchanges, and if you're like in on the leg and a foot goes out and you're scrambling, they can let the situation progress like you do in freestyle. I don't know that I'm against 2 feet, but I just think I'm just looking for.
I thought it was
simplicity and uniformity.
Sure.
When we can have it, when we can have synergy with freestyle, it's a good thing, right? We shouldn't avoid that. Like, for example, I was talking with Jimmy Chung, who is like the head ACC. He's over the ACC officials, and he was explaining to me about the Nolf-Hidley call, why it's not two, and it's like kind of a textbook not two, because the scramble the exchange began on the mat, and then they came up, or you could say they came up, you can maybe say they didn't come up and he got behind for that split second, but that doesn't make it two. There should be no scenario where an identical situation from how the exchange starts, this is two, this is not two. Whereas if I got to rear standing in the hand touch, it would be two, but I get to the exact same position for the exact same amount of time. And that would, I don't understand that. How is a fan supposed to, how is an athlete supposed to understand? We could just, so many of these, I use the word self-inflicted. They have this self-inflicted confusion that is so avoidable. How can you have two different sets of takedown rules? They have different things that are takedowns for the same exact position. I'm sorry, I know you guys hate on UWW rules and you say they're confusing. It's not. It's a lot more black and white than this. And the fact that, I got on a leg and he sprawled on top of me and then I ended up behind him, that's okay. But if I just got to rear standing, that's no good. So I'm just all for simplicity of rules, and I think that's a clear example. Change the takedown, and I think 1 foot out is simple as well.
And UWW rules, because you're allowed to go to a quad pod, right? Because you're allowed to have two hands on the mat. Now you can't have that knee drop, right? That third point. But because you can have the hands on the mat, it removes a lot of the confusion, because that is exactly what Christian's talking about. When there is a flash takedown, right, or there's weight on the hands, and then it's like, well, in this situation it is, but in this situation it isn't. Whereas in freestyle, it's okay, you can have your hands down like anytime you want, just don't let your knee drop, and you can continue wrestling.
And the moment the knee touches, it's two. And the worst reaction time should not be.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that? What Nomad's talking about? Would you prefer that you have to have a point down, and the point not be in the hands, and a knee and elbow?
I don't know about that. I don't know. That seems like a huge departure from folk style for me. But I just think there should be more uniform rules within folk style. I don't know. I don't know what I'd prefer there. I don't know if I want to go to straight guys quad podding and getting taken down, because then at that point you may as well be freestyle.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I like so many folk style elements, right? But
I don't know if I would like the quad pod.
Yeah, I don't either. But the point being, you know when a takedown is a takedown. You know when it's not. So yeah, that's interesting.
I thought I kind of like the 2 feet out. I think it keeps the folk style spirit and the excitement of the edge, and also provides a black and white line instead of edge stalling, which is a disaster. One thing I found very interesting is one person we talked to about the finals reviews. The finals reviews at NCAAs, when there's a challenge, ESPN's truck has it piped in. They get every possible angle.
That is weird. So you have two different scenarios for your reviews, because you have one angle for Nolf-Hidley, right, in the semis, but then if they were to wrestle in the finals, you have 19 different cameras, or whatever the number is.
Yeah, that's true too. But I wasn't aware of that. I mean, they get every possible angle. They said it's queued up right away, and
so then basically they just decided they weren't calling the headgear thing.
Yeah,
they're just like, we're not calling it.
Yeah,
I know he grabbed his headgear, but we're not getting there. Which,
that's one of the other updates, that the continued push to
get rid of
headgear might go away.
Yeah,
but what about head safety? Just kidding. Okay, well, good update on the official front, and more to come. Hopefully less officiating discussion next year. Yeah, so Kyle Dake tweeted, "Who's coming to Vegas with me?" Yeah. And, well, first of all, the answer is everyone in this room. is going to be there with you, Kyle, if you're listening. You sometimes listen. I don't know if you still do. So we're coming, and I guess that means it's just further evidence. I've been saying Kyle Dake's going 74 basically since he won Worlds, and I still believe that he's going to go 74. Now he's saying he's going to the Open. I guess that's what that means. Who's going into Vegas with me? Yeah. He wouldn't go to the Open if he was going 79 because he's already in Final X at 79. Now, what's interesting and what I learned from the wrestling nomad, Daniel Roy Lobdell Jr., is they could wrestle in the Open and then declare.
Declare.
They declare. They could declare bankruptcy, or they could declare that they're going to go into Final X for a different weight. So Kyle Dake could go 74 and at the U.S. Open and get fourth. That would never happen. And then be like, you know what? I don't want to do this. I am in Final X 79 kilograms. And then he would be. Same for someone like Joe Colon, who I don't believe has yet accepted his spot.
Yeah, and to me, there's a couple things with that, because I can already hear, like, as we were explaining this, that there's people going to be like, well, that's not fair. They should have to pick. Well, it's not fair that world medalists get a bye either, but it's a smart system. It's a good system. USA Wrestling has always tried to put the best possible team out at the World Championships, and that means that in a pre-Olympic year where it's so important to qualify the spot, the Olympic weight, right? So the 6 Olympic weights and all the 3 styles. If you wrestle for a medal in Kazakhstan this year, you qualify your weight for the Olympics. So to allow Kyle Dake to have the option, or Joe Colon to have the option, I don't believe we have
many people are going to complain about that.
I hope they don't, because it's a really good thing to allow them to have the option.
Have the option of what? But there's, by the way, I was giggling because Kazakhstan all of a sudden just decided to change the name of its capital city.
They did.
Yeah.
I think it was time for a rebrand.
First of all, it's not the first time they've done it either.
Right. But Astana, that name of that town, that wasn't even a town. That was like, there was nothing there. There was nothing there, and they was just like, we're gonna build this awesome capital city. They built it from nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of like it. So
and
it's very cliche to have like a historic capital.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen our other cities? We gotta top that for a capital.
Yeah.
I kind of admire it.
Well, I mean, it's Kazakhstan, so
they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it their way.
They're gonna top it. Anyway. Only in wrestling. But what I wanted to get at was there were pros and cons. You know, the trial system this year and the trial schedule this year kind of overwent. You know, there were some deliberations. There were some deliberations about how to do it and how to have the timing of it. And it gets convoluted kind of with Final X, and there's this multi-stage process. But the point being, there's no system this year for you miss 74, right? You miss the Olympic weights. You don't qualify. You don't make the team at the Olympic weights. Kyle Dake doesn't make 74, make the team at 74. There's no recourse to go back and make it at 79. There's no trials at a later date for the non-Olympic weight.
Right.
And so, thoughts on that? Pros and cons of that?
Well, the pros, you maybe set yourself up best for 2020, and that you get all your guys down at the Olympic weights and competing. The cons would be 2019 World Team doesn't have Kyle Dake on it, and could potentially, if Jaden Cox, we know he's going 92, but if he said I'm going 86 or 97, we would have him not on our team, or whoever he beats to make the team at 86 or 97. So those are the cons. Those are the pros.
What would you prefer?
I don't know. Here's my thing. You can go whatever weight you want. Just go that weight and make the team. If you wanted to be on the 79 team, you could just be on the 79 team. If you wanted to be on the 92 team, you just be on that team. But I don't like the idea of, okay, wrestling needs a season, right? We can't have these little add-on little dinky things at Fargo or wherever they would have them. That's not good, and that's not like
so convoluted.
And that's not. And that also, what that also does is it makes the non-Olympic weights the second class citizens or whatever you want to call them as it is, and I don't like that either.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it how they're deciding to do it. There's no there's going to be a loss at some point. There's going to be there's a negative thing about that. And I get it. Yeah. If I'm Bill Zadok, I'm like, geez, really?
You're
Kyle
right.
Dake might not be on my team. That's insane.
We do need a clear system, a clear season. I like that, the Open, the Trials, Challenge Tournament, Final X. You get your clear three levels. And to add, non-Olympic weight qualifier here in Fargo, tack it on another tournament, it gets messy. And it probably is the way they are doing it now. America. I just want the best team for 2019. Hey man,
if we roll out Mark Holler, Zahid Valencia, or Alex Daringer at 79,
that's true.
I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
You know what? If we roll out, 92, we're gonna have Jaden Cox. Right. We're gonna have that guy. 61, we're gonna be good. If it's Cologne or if it's someone else, we're gonna have a good guy there. I feel like. We got bronze there last year with our guy that took second at Final X. So, I'm feeling fine about it. And ultimately, it makes the Olympic weights a little juicier. Of course, I wish we weren't so beholden to the Olympics and the Olympic Games, and the fact that they make us go from 74 to 86 and the way they do things is a joke. But, that's just the reality right now. And I don't blame an athlete for wanting to set themselves up better for 2020. And really, we're only talking – this is literally a Kyle Dake only conversation.
Yeah.
Are there any other athletes where we're like, oh, well – probably not, because Jaden's going.
Only Jaden.
And he's going. He's going 92 because America.
Just out of curiosity, is there a non-Olympic Worlds in 2020?
I would imagine.
Yeah.
They did it in 16 and.
Yeah, but now there's
12.
Now there's 4 weights. There wasn't 4 weights back then, was there?
In 2016, it was just 2. So it was 61 and 70, and we used that year's Bill Farrell and combined and said, okay, well, we're still going to have the Farrell, but 61 and 70 are going to to be the trials for that year.
Yeah.
Logan and James.
But what I'm getting at is there's 4.
Yeah,
there used to be 2. If that, it's a pretty 4 is pretty robust. It'll be a pretty good tournament.
Actually, better.
Yeah, right. You have a 12 total weight tournament as opposed to in 2016 it was only 6 weights.
Right.
And then before that it was only the women's weight, so it was like the really small tournaments. But to have a 12-weight tournament, that's a legit 3-day weekend championship.
Yeah. All right, so that's the deal with Dake.
Do we want to explain Final X real quick to them? Just remind the people, since we've been so folk style heavy.
Let's remind. Why don't we do this? Because it's kind of a weight by weight thing. What the different scenarios are. Why don't we go through the weights? Who's registered for the Open, and then you can kind of give a brief overview of what the scenario is.
How about
great.
We get a Bradkey update? How's everything
Yeah,
going?
What the freak?
What's going on with Kyle Bradkey? Pichu Bradkey.
Not much. Just.
Are we on Facebook?
Yeah.
What are they saying?
Not much, honestly. They're
Are
pretty
they
quiet
mad?
today. No, they're quiet today.
Wow. Tell them. Why don't you throw some daggers? Get them fired up.
I'll start trolling them.
All right, start trolling them. Okay.
Hey, Adam Fellers, who's always on Twitter.
He's not on today.
Wow.
He's always on Facebook. His kid took second at Reno.
Did he? He won Tulsa.
Yeah, he made the finals of.
I think he was going for the Trinity.
Yeah, he was.
He had the father, and he's the son.
Couldn't get the Holy Spirit.
I don't know when is the Holy Spirit. I don't know. I'll have to check the.
Fellers is the Holy Spirit.
Oh my god. All right, 57 kilograms is insane. I cannot believe all these names.
Yeah,
I'm about to.
Awesome, amazing.
In order of. I don't know. Just my order. This is just my order. Thomas Gilman, Dayton Fix, Sebastian Rivera, Nick Piccinini, Jesse Delgado, Zane Richards, Vito Araju, Nick Piccinini, if I haven't said that, Nathan Tomasello, and Dayton Fix, Thomas Gilman.
Awesome.
And Nick Piccinini.
And the thing that I like about weights like this, in addition to all the guys we expect to be in the mix and kind of placing, you figure guys who we maybe haven't thought about in a while, or maybe guys who on paper we consider second tier. You're gonna have early round matchups that are gonna be good, right? With Jared Patterson and Luke Welch and
Joey Palmer.
Yeah, Joey Palmer, Zane Richards. There's gonna be guys early on who you're okay, I'm gonna have to wrestle this guy. So there's gonna be some intrigue early on. Suppose all right, this guy's he's gonna get laced and it's gonna be a quick match.
What did Rivera do last year?
He didn't. He was hurt.
Yeah. What's his freestyle ledger?
Not much.
Nothing. I mean, not
Does
much.
this mean he's wrestling for America or what?
Maybe he's wrestling for.
Well, Puerto Rico won't
switch.
email him back.
What?
He don't have
So
internet.
there's one obvious name not on there, right?
Not really.
Are we missing somebody else?
Well, Spencer, if you're talking about Spencer,
Yeah, Thomas Spencer.
well, he wouldn't. He's already qualified for trials.
Okay. What, via NCAA?
NCAA championship.
Man,
So he
I
ain't
would just
got
like to see him.
Although a bye to Final X is on the line for 57, which
Yeah.
kind of stole your thing.
Well, yeah. So 57. Last year, Thomas Gilman was sitting in Final X, right? Because he was returning world silver medals. This year, because Gilman lost in the bronze medal match, or rather, last year, 2018 World Championships, lost in the bronze medal match. Everyone who is registered in the Open has the ability to get the bye to Final X at 57. So theoretically, based on how it went last year, we expect Thomas Gilman versus Dayton Fix in the U.S. Open finals to determine.
If it were you, and you were already qualified, and this goes for any weight, you were qualified for. I mean, if you were qualified for the trials, would you go to Final X and try to get that bye?
U.S. Open?
U.S. Open.
You would think.
I would.
Yeah.
Kyle would.
Because you're talking about Spencer Lee, right?
Especially
you're
at
talking
a-
about Spencer, right?
Well, yeah,
I don't know who else.
I'm talking about
There's a
Spencer.
couple
But
guys that.
I'm talking about Spencer, but I'm talking about in general, anybody.
My thing is just getting some more. I don't know if experience is the word, but he hasn't wrestled freestyle since 2016.
Yeah.
He hasn't competed in freestyle. Like, do you want the trials to be your first competition back?
Yeah.
You know, that'd be tough. You can come here and maybe you win, maybe you don't. He could certainly win the U.S. Open, but
Well, the thing is, even if you lose, you're still where you were.
right, you're
You
qualified.
know, there's nothing to lose.
You don't have to place. So yeah, but I mean, I think I don't think he's going to wrestle freestyle.
This whole summer?
I mean, it's just my opinion. He didn't last year when he was wrestling way better. I just don't know what would be different. I've already made this point.
I think what's different this year is the process to 2020. You know, you medal at Worlds this year, then you're set up good for the Olympic trials.
Yeah, true.
As far as guys who wouldn't wrestle in the Open and would wrestle in the trials, who are obviously already qualified for the trials, the thing to me is if it's a really tough cut, and you don't want to have to make weight multiple times, right? Because you're looking at 2 weigh-ins as opposed to 4. The 2-day weigh-in for trials as opposed to 2-day weigh-ins for the Open and 2-day weigh-ins for trials. So you have to weigh that versus you could possibly get upset at the trials in Raleigh and not go. Mm-hmm. And that to me, that's everyone has to make that calculation. And most of them are probably going to say, well, look, if this is my weight, I should be able to make it twice or as many as 3 times if I have to go, if I don't win the Open and I have to go to the trials and then do Final X. Like, I should be able to make it 3 times in the span of 8 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know if I get that. I see your point, and I see, that's always been a thing, but for some of these guys, especially internationally, the 2-day scratch is new.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's hard, but at the same time, you almost want to get that rep into doing that.
To make sure your body can do
right.
it. Yeah.
I mean, and that's why, we're having a thing about Flow Nationals and Akron, and there's emails going back and forth. It's like, well, should it be, why is it scratch? Well, especially in these tournaments where you have to do it in April and then July or June, and then you don't want to have +2 now and it's 6 months later have to do it and not make it. We saw that bridge burned before.
Yeah, especially with growing young men. All right, so that's 57. That's the deal there. Initial thoughts are, I'm not sure why this won't be Gilman versus Dayton, and then, then ultimately, I don't see why Dayton. I think we have the same Final X as last year.
Yeah,
I think those are the 2 best guys. There's a possibility NATO has really emerged, and he looks like the guy that could enter there. But it seems to me those 2 dudes.
It's just great that my whole point with anything where we see this many guys, because it's always like, man, why would you do this? You lost this guy 6-7 times. Well, number one, because wrestling, we now have the money to afford to pay these guys in their senior level careers, and number two, because the number one thing that we want, like, if we're ever going to catch and surpass Russia, we need depth, and so we need all of these guys to continue. Nathan Tomasello is like, no, dude, I'm gonna make an Olympic team, and I'm gonna put my heart and soul into this, and so yeah, he's lost a whole bunch to Gilman, but if he beats him this time, great, then that's another awesome guy that we have. So I'm just really excited to see this level of depth at 57.
How do you think Pitch can do?
I don't know. I think he can ultimately be really good at freestyle, just because he's so good from neutral. But I see some of his finishes. I can see him getting dumped for 2. I just see it. He's gonna have, I think, a pretty typical learning curve in freestyle. He's got a very folk style centric game with his mat stuff. He's gonna be good. He'll make the quarters or around a 16, and I think he could place top 8, which is quite an accomplishment for someone with a very small freestyle ledger.
I think he's, small freestyle ledger, but a style that I think when he focuses on freestyle, I think he can convert to it pretty well. And I think he's at a size. I'm talking long term here. Yeah. And what I'm saying is, Pitch could have a pretty good future at 57.
I agree. Man, I would love to see him in Dayton go. That's always been the talk, right?
Yeah.
So, really excited for 57. Going to be an awesome weight. I mean, Vito's in there. I guess he's like, cool, I guess I'll just stay at 125 now. Never wrestled. I was like a sophomore in high school not wrestling this low, but I guess I will now that I'm a freshman.
That's what I was going to bring up when you brought up Pitch, is Vito teched Pitch last year in U23 semis. Mm-hmm. And then beat him again at NCAA. So, I think, man, probably wouldn't pick him over Tomasello, but Vito could be like in that national team realm.
Yeah, he's a
but so could Sebastian.
I think, I really like Rivera in freestyle as well.
Great weight though, awesome weight.
It'll be good. It balances out some of these other current registration lists, which are less inspiring. 61's good though. Ben Whitford still involved in wrestling.
I don't know how he makes 32.
Still, I don't know either. Alan Waters, Ben Whitford, Cody Brewer, Total Brewerization, Corey Clark, Earl Hall, JDJ, probably got parachute in, if I had to guess.
Linear Vining is involved. There's a wrestler, I can't get over it. There's a wrestler registered, his name is Linear Vining. I don't know.
I'm for him. And Nico, Shelton Mack, and Tyler Graff. So really tough weight again. I'm pretty sure I picked Cody Brewer to win this last year, and he did not. He very much did not win this weight last year.
Didn't he?
But I'm probably going to pick him again.
He had a bad open.
He really
did. Who did JDJ beat Ness? Right? First round?
I don't know.
Was it last year?
I think that was 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Ness 1 year was hurt bad.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago with Jason. So, yeah, I like Brewer here, but, I mean, no Cologne entered here because, obviously, he wouldn't need to wrestle in this because Final X. No Nishan entered.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, I don't know. Is he qualified? Did he win a thing?
Yeah, so we put out USA Wrestling and us put out the World Team Trials qualifiers yesterday, and they did what I consider to be the smart thing and said, although Nishan did not wrestle at the World Championships because he won Final X, we're going to allow him to just like when Tervel couldn't wrestle in 2015, they're like, well, you won the spot, you should.
Yeah, I don't think that's. I mean, I think that's always been the way.
So he's in World Team Trials.
Just like Gomez won the junior spot but did not wrestle, so they're allowing him. He's a qualifier.
Correct.
Right, if you do that.
But Gomez isn't wrestling at the Open?
I don't know.
Well, he's not registered, so
right.
He still might, obviously.
He's already qualified.
Oh, I think I picked Tyler Graff to win, actually. Felt great about it. He did not win either. Anyone I picked didn't win last year. Did not pick Nishan or Cologne. So that's 61. The scenario there is waiting for Cologne to declare. So if you win the U.S. Open, you're probably going to be in the World Team Trials finals. You're probably not going to get to Final X because Joe Cologne. But if Cologne says, hey, I'm going 57 or 65 for some unknown reason, then yes, you won the Open and you're in.
Nico had a good tournament last year. Him and Clark, was it him and Clark in a wild one?
It was like first or second round.
That was horrible. That was a terrible match. It's like,
it was a great match.
I don't know. Very, anyways. Actually, Clark kind of blew that match. He could have just held Nico on his back.
Who did Nico get beat by?
He had a tight one against maybe Nishan or
I think it was Cologne.
yeah.
It was because
It was
Cologne,
really close.
Cologne kept either crotch locking him or belly whiz or like some from defensive neutral where he scored all his points.
Nico was right there to win it.
So
60.
So what's Cologne's? I know you said it. Cologne's situation.
He just hasn't declared.
He just hasn't declared. He didn't declare.
Yes. 65. A lot of entries. BJ Futrell, Dean Heil, Evan Henderson, Frank Molinaro, Jaden Ironman, JD Hawkins. Now, do y'all know who JD Hawkins is? You do, but you just don't know this is his name. If you follow wrestling, St. John Bosco, okay, he's the ripped older gentleman who stands in the corner and he coaches, and you're like, this dude is old and absolutely shredded. He could tear me up right now.
He's an African American.
He is probably... Willie has a pretty good theory here. Because he's entered 65 kilograms. What do you think happened here?
You're going to put me on the spot. I said before the show, maybe he thought he put in 65 was his age.
The guy might be 65 years old.
Listen, he's older. The dude is ripped. He's St. John Bosco at one time.
Sensational looking.
A coach there. He coaches Vasquez, Jesse Vasquez now, who's also registered, by the way.
Are they in the same weight?
They're in the same weight.
Oh my gosh.
So, but
round one.
JD's an awesome dude, and yeah, he's entered. So is Jesse Vasquez is entered. I don't understand why Jesse's entered. I mean, I guess why not in seniors, but
Well, maybe make a junior team.
you should make a junior team.
You should probably make a junior team.
That's why I'm happy. Alira is registered 65 juniors, and he clearly has no problem wrestling seniors because he went to the Schultz, did great. So it's clearly like not a I'm scared thing. It's I would like to make a team, get that experience, and then maybe I'll do seniors.
Montel Marion's involved.
Montel Marion is very involved. Here's the thing. My thing with the juniors entering seniors. Here's who's Kyle Snyder's a junior that should enter seniors. Right? There's examples.
Yeah.
I don't think Jesse is one of them, personally.
Well, listen.
There's very few.
No disrespect to Jesse or anybody that wants to try their hand at seniors. But, win a junior. Like, he went to juniors last year and was 3-2. Right?
I don't know if he was that.
You don't know if he's that. Yeah, maybe 2-2.
And 2 and 3.
And I like that they have the process. I like that they have the process now where the junior world team member is qualified, so it encourages our best juniors to do the open, then see where they kind of stack up, and then they can make that decision
Stack rank.
to either just focus on seniors or go juniors at the trials. So I like that, but yeah, I don't know if I agree with it specifically for Jesse right now.
So I was naming guys, and I stopped at JD Hawkins and Jesse Vasquez. I should continue because there's more. Joey Laser, Caden Gfeller, Montel Marion, Nick Dardanes, Yanni D. So right now, who's not entered? Jordan Oliver,
McKenna,
Joseph McKenna, Logan Stieber.
What is J.O. going? J.O. Register.
It's time. Who else? There's someone else good not in here, right? Or is that everybody?
Everybody.
Yeah, because going in, last show when we talked about this, Yanni Molinaro, Oliver McKenna, Logan,
Ironman.
Ironman,
J.O.
So J.O. not registered. Neither of the Ohio RTC boys registered Logan or McKenna.
Cool.
Now Logan's qualified for trials. He doesn't have to, but
hey,
Yanni's qualified for trials too. But he's
he's a little different though because that's what we were just talking about the juniors where, if Yanni goes,
you know who else?
He can still make a junior team.
Yeah, this is his last year.
Oh,
Yanni never made a junior team. He's always been hurt or sick or something. What about Ashnault?
He's automatically in trials, so maybe not. I don't know. So yeah, Ashnault is definitely someone that could still enter, throw his hat in the ring at 65. But 65 looks good. 70. Oh, and the scenario here is win U.S. Open, you're in Final X.
Mm-hmm. And another one that's, maybe not 61 so much. Well, obviously not 61, but very important. 65 is very important. This is major, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
As compared to what?
I don't know.
As compared to 61, where if Cologne,
Oh yeah, okay. On to 70.
70. Anthony Colica, Brandon Sorensen, David Carr, Isaiah Hokett, Jason Chamberlain, Kevin Jack, Nazar Kolchitsky, and Wyatt Sheets and Ryan Deacon. I'll say Wyatt Sheets.
where's Kolchitsky training now?
I have no idea. Oh, Minnesota.
Yeah,
We were
Minnesota.
there.
Oh yeah,
Saw
that's
him.
right.
Sorry, dude. I forgot, Kyle. Jeez. Jump all down my throat.
A shot Haboyan.
So, okay, 70. We're still waiting for... you have to assume Green will enter this tournament because if
Right.
he wins, he's in Final X. This is another one that's of massive importance to win the United States Open. And similarly, Jason Nolf, but Nittany Lion has not registered at all for this. So...
And would you be terribly surprised? I know we talked about this last show, but would you be terribly surprised if Nolf won 74? Probably not.
I would be terribly surprised. I would be surprised. I would be like, wow. I would literally say wow audibly. That's how surprised I'd be.
Yeah.
I think he's a 70. He should go 70 this year. Figure out.
I think he should go 72.
Yeah.
So Nittany Lion's not registered.
No.
Nebraska. I don't think the Nebraska guys are registered either.
I don't even know if we're allowed to talk about Nittany Lion even after they do register. Sometimes they get mad about that. So we'll just wait till they start wrestling in the tournament, and then perhaps at that point we'll be allowed to talk about it.
So what's the heat there?
The Heat is waiting for Green and Nolf to register. That is the Heat. And also David Carr's pretty cool.
I mean, Sorensen's been doing pretty well. I'm glad Deacon's wrestling.
Hey, what about
Sorensen
Tony?
has been doing well.
Chamberlain was in Final X last year, so we've got guys there.
Hey, what about Pantelio?
What about and the Hoagie?
Yeah.
U.S. Open finalist Hayden Hoagie Hidley. Triple H. Is he the new Triple H?
The Mug Dog.
The Mug Dog.
Hey, was there some wrestling going on, like WrestleMania or something?
Yes.
Yes.
God, did you watch it?
No, didn't watch it.
No one here watches that, Willie.
I know, but
Our CEO was there.
No, I said it was WrestleMania, and Christian was like, "Yes," like I'm an idiot, but
Well, I think you knew the answer. You're asking, did WrestleMania happen? Yeah,
no,
you know it happened.
I wasn't. Everybody was talking about. I didn't know if they meant it was coming up. I don't know, but man, those people get on my nerves. Pro wrestling people.
Okay, 70.
The fans.
I've not experienced. Well, I did have my time with Flow Slam, so
I would prefer amateur wrestling fans to pro wrestling fans.
yeah.
You don't use that word.
Yeah, we don't use
That's why I
that.
used air quotes.
74. Austin Krazer, Chance Marsteller, Colat trained. Evan Wick, Imar, Joey LaValle, Quentin Godley, 2 words, Tommy Gant, and that's it. And presumably Kyle Dake. Kyle, if you need assumedly, I think is the proper word. So basically, the heat here is wait for Kyle Dake to enter, and then he'll probably win this weight. Excited to watch Chance, as always, and Imar.
I still don't know why Dake would wrestle here.
I don't understand
it
why.
is significantly less valuable because he'd have to weigh in 4 times as opposed to 2 and have to wrestle.
Who cares about
Who
weigh-ins?
cares about weigh-ins?
Probably people who have to make weight.
You just 30 minutes ago, you just said the value of getting down to weight and making weight.
Yeah, at 57, where you can get a bye to Final X, he can't get a bye to Final X. He's gonna have to go to trials anyway. And I would rather. I understand he's gonna probably smash everybody, but I would still only rather have to wrestle 4 matches as opposed to 8 matches.
Nomad, ladies and gentlemen.
848.
And Kyle Dake has not gone to the Open
Nomad is
before.
poo-pooing on people competing.
I'm not poo-pooing on people competing. I just don't know
Maybe some
what
people,
the value is for Kyle Dake to do.
Maybe some people
the
like to
Open.
wrestle. Maybe some people like to compete.
I hope he does Open. I
What
can't
happens?
see it.
What happens if he loses? Who the freak cares?
I mean, we would all care if he lost.
Also,
I'm saying.
number one.
What does it hurt? There's
Hold
nothing bad about him wrestling.
Here. Number one, if he wrestles and wins the Open, there is value. I don't know why you give it no value, but there is value to sitting out at the World Team Trials. World Team Trials is really tough, really intense, and you're going to have really good guys the whole time. Mm-hmm. Number 2, it gives him a opportunity to wrestle at 74 and assess how he feels, how he does, and then say, hey, I don't want to do this. I'm going to go 79 this year.
That's the main thing. I don't think he gives a crap about sitting in trials finals this year.
Okay, we'll just ask him. I think it probably matters to him.
Kyle,
I'll tell you one thing. Kyle Dake is one of those guys that a lot of people are anti the guy sitting out. He's been very public about it. It's important to Kyle Dake to sit out.
He's been very vocal
so
about
he's going to sit out at World Team Trials, which is something he's said, man, this is a huge advantage. He has acknowledged this is a huge advantage to get to do this.
But that was
when I'm telling you right now, he thinks it's an advantage and he wants it.
But that was when it was all in one day. It was a different system when he was talking about that. There's still going
to be a tournament wrestled at the same time while he is watching them wrestle and waiting for a winner, and he will wrestle them best 2 out of 3.
That's fine. To me, the value of sitting out the trials is way less important to him than the assessment of his body.
Well, yeah. Listen, it's absolutely less important to a guy like Kyle Dake, who everybody considers vastly superior to the field, right? One that's with Burroughs out. But there's, I mean, it's Christian said it. There's value to seeing how you are at 74.
And he hasn't made 74 since 17
trials.
17 trials.
Yeah. And there's no repercussions if you lose.
No.
Right? Like if he, I don't know what. You're making me mad.
Because for a whole quad, he didn't wrestle in the Open. So
it's almost like you're endorsing. It's almost like you're saying.
I'm just skeptical he's going to wrestle.
You're going to the other side where it's like, well, you shouldn't. There's nothing. You shouldn't wrestle if there's not the utmost to gain.
When there wasn't a bye to World Team Trials available in 2015, he went to Northeast Regional.
We're going back 4 years right now.
Because we have to. Yeah, because then he went up in weight, and then it was available to him. So I'm just trying to think of the last time he was in this situation.
He wrestled at the Open in 16.
That was a fake Open.
It was a real Open.
There was no
buy
available.
There was no buy available.
No buy available in 20. The one December 2015. There's no
so
buy
he literally
available.
did the thing you're describing. So he's already done it once.
That was to go up to 86 kilos. That's the first time he wrestled against domestic competition against 86 kilos. That is similar to this, where if his only value, there's no value in the buy. The only value is in assessing how your body feels, and I'm just skeptical that he gives a crap about that because he's Kyle Dake, and he's a professional. He's gonna make it. He's gonna be amazing.
I just don't want. Listen, I think guys should wrestle every freaking time.
Y'all are gonna just do this. We're on the record. 79, Ringer, Joe Smith, and. Oh, okay. Tough scene. Please enter Mark Hall and...
Who we missing? We're missing...
Zahid.
And Mark.
And...
Who else? Who else at 79?
Not Miles Amin. He's wrestling Euros right now for San Marino
San
County.
Marino. Who else at 79, guys? We can't be that...
Too.
We can't be that depleted. We just got Mark, Zahid, and Ringer at 79. Who we missing?
I mean, those are...
I don't know who. That's
pretty deep, yeah. That's compared to other weights.
Listen. Right, I'm going to talk. Those are contenders, but no disrespect. But look at that list in there.
Who are some good 174s that should enter? Is Daniel Lewis going to enter? I don't know. He can't take top in the second, so he might be out. All right, that's 79.
Yeah, that's 79.
Zahid and Mark. If you need help registering, let us know. We'll help you out. Hunter Bolin at 86, next topic. Also Pat Downey, Nick Heflin, Kenny Kortz, Josh Asper. Cameron Caffey. Whoa, this is not great.
It's not good.
Oh, did I say Nick Heflin? He's probably going to win. Him or PD3. PD3 Hawk.
I like Heflin PD3.
Yeah, that's fun. Because if you get here, I don't know why they're, if you get here, they have buy to trials. That's the deal with 86.
Somebody's going to get tossed. Heflin Downey.
Wait a second.
Hold on.
I don't know. I saw a tweet. Kyle Dake said No, this is just probably just DT being. I'm saying he's going to watch or something. Kyle Dake tweeted, "Who's with me? Who's going to Vegas?" And DT said, "I'm your Huckleberry," or I'll see you there or something.
Yeah.
Well, he's not going to wrestle, right?
He's going to play blackjack.
With Don Machado?
Yeah, probably so.
He's not going to wrestle, right?
I don't think so.
I just want to see. I just want to watch him wrestle.
I do too, but that would be one that would confuse me if he entered the United States Open with a bye to final exit. But there's no one that can hang with David. As long as Jaden's at 92, there's no one in his galaxy.
All right, what's the situation at 92?
The sitch is not Jamarcus Russell, Jamarcus Grant, Mike Machiavello, Cody Walters, Scotty Boykin, Nico Reyes, Timmy McCall.
Not great.
Not great. Give me Mike Mach 5 to win that way.
And Jaden's sitting, right?
Sitting pretty. Final X, Rutgers. Now,
hey, Mike.
Help could be on the way here with Bo Nickel if he enters.
Oh, please enter.
We believe, Bader believes he's going 92 for
Bader believes
year.
that?
He believes that from the bottom of his heart.
I want to see him go 92.
Me too.
Mike Mock wrestled really good in his European. He went one. He go in one or two events in European in Europe.
At least one. I'll have to look that up.
He looked good.
But yeah, I'm excited about him.
Even in his loss, he looked good.
Obviously, like anything that we talk about is like, yes, okay, they're going to be whatever to Jaden. But I just liked how Scotty Boykin looked at Dave Schultz. He lost to Dudley in the finals. So, again, trying to develop depth is a good thing. So I'm glad these guys are continuing to wrestle.
97, Blaze Cobble.
I'm looking to play blackjack with that guy.
Ty Walls, Win Mahalik, Michael Boykin.
Win?
Michael Boykin? Yeah. Why are you surprised about Win? Pretty sure has he not been entering tournaments?
I didn't think he was active for a while.
I think he saw the entry list and said, I'll probably win that. 125, AJ Nevels, Derek White, Cornelius Putnam.
Neil Putnam.
Who you say looks like Sean Penn's brother, who is no more. We learned that on the show.
Derek White.
Saran Francisco.
Sauce Daddy,
your favorite.
It's the greatest nickname in wrestling.
You think
There's not even a question.
Listen, Saran Francisco is preposterous looking.
Sauce Daddy?
Because he's so strong looking, Nomad thinks he's got a bright future in freestyle.
Yeah.
I just love his nickname.
No.
And he's an extremely nice guy.
Do not.
Stop.
Cut to Kyle.
Kyle,
Let's
go.
go.
Hold on, no, because you're gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie.
Ivan Freestyle made a comment about it. I was like, oh, this is great. This guy has no idea who he is. We can pump him up real easy. That's exactly what it was.
No,
Go,
you
Kyle.
were very excited about him and thought he could be a problem, so don't try to lie.
No, that's a lie.
No, it's not.
So you're saying
you would spay both.
You're saying you were trolling Ivan Freestyle.
Not trolling Ivan Freestyle, but I was like, oh, okay, it's real easy when someone looks like that to be like, oh, yeah, this guy's entered. Let's see how he does.
Okay.
You ever had right previews for these events? You know what you got to do with these upper
Yeah,
weights?
actually
I don't know.
You gotta
I don't know if you're saying.
juice
Are
him
you
up.
saying that you were excited to see him, or that you thought he was going to do really well? Are you trying,
I did not think he was going to do really well.
Kyle?
That's
a lie.
He thought he would.
He's like, yeah.
Please check the records.
All right, we'll check the records.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Heavyweight, not
Guys in the
deep.
back, check the records.
What about
Who should enter this?
what is Adam Kuhn doing?
He's either building
Space
he's either
capsule.
pummeling with Robbie Smith or building a
heard
space capsule.
I heard
I don't know.
NCAAs.
Wait, what's today? Tuesday? I think it's space capsule day for Adam
He's
Kuhn.
pummeling with Robbie Smith.
He's going to Pan Am's for Greco.
Oh.
I'm
Which
pretty
is-
sure he's wrestled freestyle at the Open. At least that's what I heard at NCAA's.
It's weird that he would do.
I hope he got bigger.
It's
I hope he didn't. He'll have to cut more.
I'm joking. He's enormous.
It's weird he would do Pan Am's for Greco. So like Greco's going super hard for Pan Am's because for the Pan Am Championships, which were the week before U.S. Open, because they want to qualify everybody to do Pan Am Games because that's really
Oh my
important
God.
to
Why
Team
don't you
USA.
let him double up at Pan Am's? Is that not surprising?
I would be fine with that if
He'd
they
be fine
wanted
with it.
to.
Nomad's got giving it clearance.
But the reason I'm confused is because that is the one weight. Heavyweight is the one weight where we're already qualified for Pan Am Games, and so if he wants to do freestyle, because he's not qualified for the trial, so if he wants to do freestyle, I'm not sure why he wouldn't go to the Open instead of Pan Ams. I mean, great that he's helping Pan Am team, but I don't see. It makes me think that he's doing Greco.
Why does this happen all the time? It always happens that, like, Pan Ams and U.S. Open, it's like one or the other for these guys.
Because we have the USA has this venue when it has it. It has it this week in the year.
And it's like a long term. It was like a 12-year deal or something.
Oh, no. I think it's
a long deal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Years and years. But
so you're saying that they couldn't adjust the schedule because
we have the South. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me. Who cares? But like, I think
quoting you, writing an article.
Yeah, quote it. Put it up.
Put it in quote.
I think. But yeah, I think we have it for so many years, and Pan Am's is when Pan Am's is, and they're not consulting South Point Hotel or USA Wrestling.
What do you look forward most to at South Point?
I hate it.
You hate South Point?
Everything about it.
Why?
I never get to leave it. It's smoke filled. You cannot get food quickly there because there's
that's true. You
long lines everywhere, and the options are not that great. There's a lot of things I don't like about it.
I have a blast.
I bet you.
Doing what?
What?
Doing what?
Yes.
Probably gambling.
I mean,
other than the
you
wrestling,
don't even gamble that much when we go.
Yeah.
On the last night I do, but I'll make a loop and watch wrestling people gamble and talk to them.
That is fun.
The coolest part about South Point is that Brent Musburger has like his gambling
cool.
studio there, but I've yet to even get to see him in it because we're always in the rounds.
I saw him once or twice, like the day before.
Coffee at Tim Hortons. That's what they say at the Tim Hortons. I think it's the Tim Hortons.
The day before it started, I just saw him in the booth. I like the Cipino. What is it called? Cipino? The seafood joint.
I don't think it's called Cipino. I know what you're talking
about.
Is
it the sushi place?
There's a really good Mexican place upstairs.
Cipino is a dish. It's not called Cipino.
Of course, it would be the food.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the specific dish.
Well,
names.
you eat one meal a day, so you can wait for an hour in the evening. But like it's tough to get a meal.
Sure.
I'm gonna need a different plan this year. Okay.
Okay.
So we have a hard 9:30 stop.
Why?
Because there's a show at 10. So. Yeah,
we got
a half hour. We got time.
Yeah.
But we'll get to let's get to some questions from friends because who knows how long that'll take. All right. I like Kyle Bergman's questions. He does the better career so far questions, and they're tough.
Bergman's awesome.
We were divided. Actually, not that divided. It was just me versus everyone on Hidley versus Marinelli.
Yeah, I know. You made a very good argument. I was a little dismissive of Kyle.
It's wins. Like, Marinelli has better wins.
I was dismissive of Kyle.
Me.
Of Kyle Curtis, the guy that asked the question, Bergman. Me and Bradkey kind of got on him. Not got on him, but we were dismissive of it. You made a good counterpoint.
Yep. So, okay, this week's edition.
I didn't see this one, so.
A better career so far, Joe Smith or Logan Massa? Logan Massa, one-time All-American, third?
Yep.
Yeah.
Third as a freshman in the semis, was basically 20 seconds away from the finals. Has not placed the last 2 years. His losses at NCAAs are to, I forget who he lost to this year. He lost
to Marinelli.
Bull and who on the front side? I forget.
Hang on.
Steyer maybe. Either Steyer.
Steyer wrote him out. Reversed him and wrote him out in the third.
Last year's NCAA, Chandler Rogers, Evan Wick. And the year before that, just Chinzo.
I'll say Logan Massa. I mean, Joe Smith is a two-time A. I feel like see here, I'm a wins guy. Over just like, if you say NCAA placement, okay, Joe's done it twice, Logan's done it once, and Joe Smith wins. But I think Logan Massa has had 3 very productive years. Joe Smith has had 2. And his wins were basically Joe Smith's biggest thing was like he really gave Nolf an awesome match, and he gave Aymar a really good match once too.
That was a fun match.
But other than that, I'm not sure what else. So I think
to me it's Joe, but Logan, I'm torn on Logan because last year he was definitely hurt, and I don't know. I'm not 100% sold. I don't know. Not make excuses for the guy that he wasn't fully healthy this year. So I would go Joe, but I feel like it's kind of hard because I don't know that
he
Logan's
placed more.
Yeah,
That's basically the only reason you can say Joe.
That's what I would say.
Well, yeah, because
I'm with you. I would say Joe. Give me the 2
and 4th.
Give me the 2 AAs over the 1, but maybe Mass has better wins.
So basically, this question, we have to cancel this question because y'all are just gonna say who's placed higher or placed more.
Yeah, because that's what people are going to remember. But I also don't like it because of Matt. Because it's really hard for me to throw a year out because of injury.
That's what people are going to remember.
But
I'd take 2 AAs over 1. I mean, that's team points.
Yeah.
Soriano versus Fix with NCAA Finals is also a rematch of who's number 1. Has there ever been another NCAA Finals like that? No. But Miles Martin Zahid was kind of close to one in that if they went the same weight, and maybe that would have happened. But that didn't happen. So no.
At the time,
I'm still holding out for Teasdale Levis NCAA final.
At the time, I thought Hoffman Beard could be, but now I'm not sure they're going to be the same weight.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of All-Americans already from who's number 1, but not a lot of finalists probably.
Wood Gable could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nolf McKenna, they both made the finals, but they ended up different weight. Obviously, careers are over, but then they end up different weights, so that kind of can't have that.
Pitch Brocker on the same team. That one's out.
Probably.
Yanni and Red didn't wrestle at who's number 1 because Pletcher beat Yanni.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And Red beat Lamont. Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
I haven't updated it yet, but I always do right before who's number 1, like an NCAA placement article of all the guys.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 national champs going into this year. So I don't know.
I don't know if we got any more.
Soriano adds 9.
Oh yeah. Yanni
won again. Nolf won again. Zahid won again.
How do you count this one? It was a tricky one. Tyler Berger.
See, I didn't.
I don't think you should count him because he didn't actually wrestle.
Yeah. I know where you were at when you did that stat out.
Here's the thing.
Wait, for who's number 1?
He was ranked 1 or 2. He got the invite, and then he got in a car accident.
I've never counted him in this article.
He doesn't count.
Yeah.
I think you should count.
I don't think you should.
Kyle is the authority of that.
He did not wrestle in the event.
You got wrestled in the event.
I know.
Well, let's just invite.
We once announced the Spencer Lee count because we announced the Spencer Lee Justin Mejia match, and then he got hurt. Spencer got hurt.
So Spencer wrestled who's number 1. We should just start. You should just invite every high school wrestler.
No, that's different. I mean,
it's not different. It's the same.
He was in.
We announced the matchup.
He was going to do it.
Yes, and then he was hurt at junior. He got hurt at Junior Worlds.
That's facts.
So why? How come Mejia? Did Mejia come?
No, we couldn't get a match for him.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Were you surprised to see Penn State on Braxton Amos's top 5 with Beard already there? Do you think that means they prefer Amos to Ferrari? Okay, 1, am I surprised to see Penn State on his list? No.
A lot to unpack.
Because with the Beard thing, Penn State will recruit over anyone. They don't care. That's what elite teams do. So they're not gonna, they're going after Lucas Bird hard, and they have Brody Teske. Like they're gonna continue to try to build. Doesn't matter, right?
Well, and they have Howard too, but I mean,
and Howard. That's what I meant to say.
Teske, I don't think. Teske, I think, is a 33 now, though.
What? He's tiny.
What? I mean, I know.
Humans
well, listen,
literally, he weighs 133 pounds right now. That might be true.
My information on Teske hasn't been quite spot on lately.
Yeah, evidently.
But I'm sorry, Brody. I tweeted last week that I thought he was leaving. That he was leaving, which apparently is not the case right now. But no, I'm pretty sure Teske is not a 25.
Wow, I thought he had lifer written all over him.
So did I. Absolutely. That was part of my...
That's the whole thing of him.
That was part of my, I like this kid because he's a grinder, he's a hard worker, he doesn't stop moving, He wins late in matches,
and
he's career 25.
This is back when before Iowa had DeSanto. That was one of the reasons he was like, I'm not gonna go to not the reason,
because
but
Spencer.
Like, Spencer's there. He's like, I'm a 25. Now after your true freshman year, you're 33. It's like
Iowa fans are all mad. It's like, why don't we get this guy? Well,
they tried hard
because you got they did, but. You got Spencer. Like, of course, the kid's gonna be like, "Wow, I'm not gonna."
Iowa went after Boykin very hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Man, you just don't know. And listen, again, I don't know 100% that he's not a 25. What I'm hearing is he's not a 25. But man, how can you not like? You never know with those guys, right? That's why Malik Heinzelman, undersized, take him.
Yeah.
Take him, right? Like Greg Diakomahalis.
Take him.
Undersized. Freaking take him.
Kurt McHenry.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt McHenry could be like the steal of the recruiting class if he gets a little bigger, because he is an absolute monster.
But getting back to this,
yes,
there's a lot of things to unpack with it. I would say I was of the 5 schools that were listed, I was most surprised at Penn State. Like, I was very sure on the other 4, and then was kind of uncertain about what the 5th would be, and ended up being Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
The Beard thing, I mean, they could suck Beard down to 84 for all we know.
Right.
You know, and like Christian just said about the recruiting over. And then Amos to Ferrari. First of all, Ferrari, a lot of people think he's going to be a heavyweight, that he will lift himself into heavyweight. His dad's really big. Second of all, his 2 right now top are Rutgers and Oklahoma State. So they might be like, well, we're not even going to get him.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think Amos good culture fit at PSU. I mean, more than Ferrari. But I just think, you know, Braxton, I would assume the level that he's at, you don't rule out Penn State.
Yeah, you're not going to be an upper weight and
rule them out.
Not look at that because of the environment and what they produce at the 84-97 range. There's no way Braxton's ever an 84, right?
I don't think so.
Go to our official Parkersburg correspondent.
I don't know, but Brock Desert does it again.
Brock Desert. This is a 3-count no biscuit. Brock Desert. He's got to be the MVP. He's the Hodge Trophy winner. There's no co-Hodge.
Brock Desert's
for legit. FRL questions. His are I chuckle at most of his. He's got 2 great ones. Would you rather eat Emo's pizza?
This is easy.
This is easy for me too.
Yep.
Would you rather eat Emo's pizza every day, or eat Emo's pizza, or stay at a murder hotel? 1, 2, 3.
Murder hotel.
It's that bad.
It's that bad.
I bought a 2-liter Mountain Dew for $2 at Murder Hotel.
Yeah, that's a steal. First of all,
that is a steal. And there were fridges. I could put it in the fridge. I had Mountain Dew. Emo's, it's trash.
It's trash.
I will starve before I eat Emo's.
Because here's the thing. Murder Hotel, you can limit that to, I'm just sleeping here, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just
you can
sleeping
stay out
there.
all day.
All day. It's just like, I can have so much fun and do all this stuff and enjoy Cleveland, and then I'm so tired and I just lay down. You don't know if you're in the Ritz-Carlton or Murder Hotel.
As long as you can make it past the very suspect people in the lobby.
Yes. Which, this is why we'll go as friends.
We go as
but
packs.
there's no way to limit the damage that Emo's Pizza does
Mess up your whole
to
day.
you psychologically, to your mouth. It ruins an entire meal.
Were you at Emo's when they had a salad bar?
No.
It looked like a petri dish of E. coli.
Yeah, I did not touch the Emo's.
I'll eat the toasted ravioli from Emo's. That was fine.
How could you screw up toasted ravioli?
Yeah, we're gonna deep fry.
Congrats on that.
Deep fried cheese. Wow, that's a winner. Who'd have thought? So great question for. Let's go back to his other one, because this is a great one. What will be the most pathetic thing to cause a gout flare-up?
What will be?
Yeah, because so far, one who's wrestling flared it up. That's kind of cool. Then you plugged in a computer, and that caused a flare-up. Then your foot touched a railing, and that caused a flare-up. So that is the current trajectory. No, that's what you said.
Well, what I mean was that there was always some. I mean, is it pathetic to stub your toe? Right. I mean,
it's pathetic, dude.
What I'm saying is,
gout from
before
stubbing your toe, it's pretty pathetic.
The reason I thought it was possibly it's like ligaments and not or tendons and not uric acid is because almost every time I felt something physical, like I felt something pop or crack the day before.
Got it. So,
but what was the most pathetic thing?
I guess putting on, he's walking around, as I mentioned, socks and slides. Slipping on a slide, I think would be more pathetic than putting your foot on a railing at a bar. Look at those. Oh my gosh.
It's swollen. It's swollen. That's my gout foot.
He walked like a geriatric into the HQ. I'm surprised he's not just rolling around on the chair around the office.
I don't even know what.
We have kind of a larger office.
I got no remedy for it. Just been doing shots of apple cider vinegar.
Genius spot. So Brian Gray, Nickel won the Hodge, but who's the overall fan favorite or more liked wrestler, Nickel or Nolf? I think Nolf has the highest, I would say, approval rating. I don't think anyone dislikes Jason Nolf. Everyone's like, man, I like watching that guy. I think Nickel may have like the higher level, like overall popularity, but he's also a little more polarizing, right? That's what we do thing. He's a little more demonstrative than Nolf. So I don't know how to actually answer that.
I mean, I think Nolf is universally more liked, which I don't exactly get.
Well, yeah, you do.
People were turned off by the "that's what we do" thing for Bo, but also I don't know. I thought people were irrational at the end of the season about the Hidley thing, like as if it was Jason Nolf's fault, as if one, it was in the first period, guys. Like I think there's some people out there that still want to put like an asterisk next to 3 titles.
I don't. I just think people thought the call was bad and poorly handled. I don't think that's impacted Nolf's popularity or approval rating.
I'm gonna go with my nephew here, and his favorite wrestler is Bo Nickel. So I'm gonna say Bo.
All right. I wish I had a nephew.
Well,
One of his happiest moments was he has a picture with he's like standing on a chair at a duel meeting. He's like, oh, Bo Nickel. So excited.
Over under on, now this has not been announced, so don't yell at me. Over under on a potential Jordan Burroughs Ben Askren match. Money line, point spread. So Nomad and I agreed 5.5. I don't know what Willie thinks though.
We talked about it.
A lot of people are like, the only reason this gets out of the first period is because Burroughs wants it to. I don't know.
Yeah,
I know it's been a while for Ben, but I just think that guy is not going to get obliterated. Just what I think.
There's also...
And I don't like... I'm sorry to cut you off, but I don't like the Clayton Foster comparison here. It's like, shit, he's enormous. Jordan Burroughs is going to be much smaller than Ben Askren.
What are we talking about, Clayton? What's the Clayton Foster
Because
effect?
he beat Ben Askren soundly in Ben's last match.
Who cares?
Well, a lot... People were bringing it up like this is some... Yes, of course, Clayton Foster is not as good as Jordan Burroughs, but...
That is a data point.
It is.
He's also huge. Clayton Foster also like won the U.S. Open. Like, I mean, he was
legit.
He was really good.
Yeah.
I don't know why Clayton Foster would be a bad loss.
Well, because you compare Clayton Foster to Jordan Burroughs, and there's a wide gap in like everything.
And he took him down with doubles.
Yeah, and he took him down a bunch. It was not a good look. Like, he got beat bad. But, listen, there's probably a 30-pound difference between like what Clayton walks around at and what Jordan Burroughs walks around at. And I don't know. I just think I give Ben Askren a little more credit than that.
But yeah, there's also, and this is like for any match, like hypothetical or real that we would ever do. Like there's how we predict the match would go, and then there's like setting a line and kind of, you know, where people would bet and all that thing. Like if you think the Falcons are going to beat the Titans on Sunday by like 2 or 3 touchdowns, that's fine. You're going to bet that way. But you're never going to, very rarely, you're going to see a line that's like plus 14. You know? Like, you're just not going to see a line where it's like Burroughs like plus 10 or Burroughs minus 10.
I don't know. You guys said, we talked about it before. You guys said 5.5. I said high. I mean, I said that's a little low. I don't know. 5.5 might be right, but okay. If the line was 5.5, who would you take?
Burroughs.
Maybe. I don't know.
You say Burroughs?
Mm-hmm. But I don't know where other. I mean, actually, I do know where other people.
Tweet at us and tell if the line was 5.5. What would you take?
Yeah.
I bet you everybody takes Burrows.
Put a poll out. You won't.
Yeah, put a poll. You don't even know how to do polls, Willie. You had this that function disabled on your Twitter. Okay, Trevor Brunson. If Darmstadt returns to form, does Cornell have a legitimate shot next year at a team title? I will say definitively no. Because it's 4 guys. 4 guys.
A lot of holes.
You can't win a title with Vito, Yanni, Max, and Ben. They're not going to get Chaz Tucker's fine, but 33 is not changing. 33 is going to be a big problem. Okay, so that's not happening. Sure, even if Vito gets way better, can he win?
I was looking at the rankings last night, and 33 loses nobody, and like 70.
And maybe gains gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 74 loses nobody.
Yeah.
Except Daniel Lewis.
I get the question because, we've talked about, all right, Penn State wins because they have their big guns, and that's all fine and well. But in addition to their big guns, Penn State has RBY. Nick Neville's placed the year that they won Nick Lee. Yeah, so it's like they do have other guys too that are also really freaking good, and
they have
doesn't have that level of firepower right now.
They have more bullets too. Yeah. I mean,
they did have one year where they just had 5 All-Americans. They were all in the finals.
Sure.
Penn State.
Sure.
When was that?
However,
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it happened.
When was that?
Was that
That was when they had 5.
No, because Neville's placed that year, 2017.
No.
It was like 13.
Okay, so we're going back. Okay.
Yeah, but
okay,
for sure it happened.
Different thing.
They all made the finals. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. Okay, let's say Vito, Yanni, Max Dean, Ben Darmstadt all win titles, score 25 points. They're at 100. I don't think that gets it done. Even if you say, okay, I'll give you 12 points for the rest of them, which may be charitable, right? Because I don't know what they've got coming, but it doesn't. I looked at the lineup and I don't see a lot of points coming from those other 6 weeks.
Who's their 49?
Hunter Richard?
Yeah, their 49 is going to be. I don't think they're going to make points there, but yeah, Christian's talking super best case scenario. Then you have to worry about other teams falling off. Then you have to. I mean, Yanni could take an Olympic red shirt. Like no one should be surprised at that. Ben Darmstadt would have to make a big jump to beat Colin Moore and maybe even Pat Bruckey. Probably Pat Bruckey.
Vito was a bad matchup for him.
I do too. Vito was 4th this year. Mm-hmm. And all those guys are back, so he would have to make a jump. And I'm not ruling out that those guys can't do that. I'm not ruling out Yanni wrestling next year. But you're talking about a lot, and I know that's the question. Like you're talking about a lot of best case scenario, but man, I'd be very surprised.
Trophy sure.
Definitely in the trophy.
It may be even a disappointment if they don't get one, but
I mean, they're on a bubble for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they should shoot for it, and I hope they do really well. But
they should shoot for it.
I just don't see it happening.
They should shoot for it.
They should try to have a good team. All right. This is an interesting one. Y'all already kind of answered it on Twitter, but should the blood round get its own round at NCAAs? I missed so many great matches with semis on at the same time.
What are you shaking your head?
Nah.
Yes, it absolutely should.
You're an insane person. Absolutely should.
Start that Friday night session an hour earlier.
Listen, what did
I have to do?
And you had a good idea. First of all, we've had this idea forever. Get rid of the stupid pigtail. 32 is fine.
Get rid of the stupid pigtail. But I did. There's a little. Part of that response. Getting rid of the 33 is good in so many ways, but I was a little incorrect, I think, in saying that it would help in this situation because you couldn't have the quarterfinal round on Thursday anyway. But my point was, you could?
No, I was like
agreeing,
running through my head.
My point was they start with a pigtail round at like 1 o'clock, noon on a Thursday. They could very easily get rid of that pigtail round, which speeds up about half hour, 45 minutes, right?
Quarter about half.
And move it to 10 o'clock, and then you have a lot of time then, right? My thing about why I love this idea is because there are 2 things that matter at the NCAA tournament. The NCAA tournament is the best tournament on Earth. And there's 2 things that matter. What are those 2 things, Christian Piles?
Placing and finals.
So, that all occurs in one session.
Yeah. Final set and placing. Yeah, I agree. I think there's a way. Maybe you started a little. You could start the round of 12 earlier before the semis.
Yeah.
Start that round a little earlier. Yeah. Get it going. Because they have to wrestle. They have to wrestle another round. If you win the round of 12, you wrestle another match anyways.
So it gives them a little bit longer break, too.
Yeah.
And I think it just puts them on the island, right? The people that are in the blood round, and you can celebrate it so much more.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
what I would be on board with is starting the blood round like an hour earlier, and then not having them wrestle that Consi quarter, I guess would be the term. The loser goes to 7th, 8th match, and doing that on the Saturday morning session.
Sure.
Lots of good options.
If that can work, yeah.
Yeah, I would be fine with that. It would be awesome if they found a way to get those two, because those are like the most exhilarating moments, and you have to have a. You can't even have a side eye on the round of 12. You just get a quarter of an eye because you're watching the semis so intently, and it would give us another finals like product.
Absolutely.
With the semis, you could like make it a real thing instead of this 6 match. Everyone loves Dog Bone Friday because it's the best round, but at the same time, we kind of limit it how good it is.
Yeah, and everything.
We got 5 minutes, and I want to get to this next one.
There's a lot of people that, there's a lot of programs that they won't have a finalist, but they'll have an All-American and they can celebrate it. I mean, for the blood round, right, Quint Kesnich should be, if that was on an island, Quint Kesnich should be emailing the winners in the blood round.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Emailing. Did I say emailing?
And it's big for team
interviewing.
Race, so yeah, I'm on board with this now. You guys talk me into it.
Boom.
Let's finish off.
Boom.
Okay, Wrestler Never Dies is a Cat fan at WrestlingCat125. You were starting a college team next year and can poach any 3 guys that wrestled at NCAAs, and 2 guys did not. Let's just do the 3 guys. I didn't even read that part.
This question was too much.
It's too much. Let's just pick 3 guys that wrestled at NCAAs. That's all I wanted to do.
3 guys at NCAAs.
And they have to have 2 years remaining or more.
2 years remaining.
Okay? Because I think I have mine. Starting my first pick, Yanni. Just want that guy around my team. Another guy I want around my team, Dayton Fix. Because he's a gangster. And he wrestles every tournament, and he freaking loves it, too.
No, you obviously got to have to take 3 guys at 3 different weights.
Okay. So far, I've done that.
Right.
Do we all 3 have to take different guys?
Yeah, we can take different. Yeah, you could pick the same guys as me. Okay. And I'm taking Gable. Because I think he's going to win 3 titles.
I want Spencer. I want Mackay. And I don't know who my third would be. I probably would have to overlap with one of you. Like Yanni or one of those guys. But definitely want Spencer Mackay.
My team's beating your team.
Oh.
Well,
I mean, you can really easily just go Spencer, Dayton, Yanni, or
Gable.
Or your team, or Spencer, Yanni, Gable, or something like that.
Not Mackay.
Spencer, Yanni, Gable is good.
Spencer, Yanni, Gable.
Yeah.
Get an extra year with Dayton, which I guess that matters. That's something.
Yeah, do I get the extra year?
Yeah.
All right, give me.
Spencer only has 2 left. Yanni only has 2 left.
Take your team.
Boom. 1 team, 1 dream. 1 Taco Supreme.
And then give me Sasso and Carr for red shirts.
No. Oh, yeah, you get red shirts too?
That's why I said
that was the one thing.
too
That's
much.
what made it a little. Okay, hold on.
Sasso coming for that title next year, dog.
That's what I'm talking about.
The #1 kid in the country next year to start next year is going to be Austin O'Connor. Mm-hmm. It's going to be like Austin O'Connor,
Matt
Kolodzik, and
Dake.
Brock Mahler.
Oh yeah, Dake and Mahler. Yeah.
You telling me Sasso can't beat any of those dudes?
We already know.
Yeah,
I would take Sasso. Who's the other best freshman?
Carr.
What? You don't want Cassiope? You say he's going to win a title.
No.
You don't want Midland's champion
I said
Cassiope? No, don't walk it back. You were wild.
Well, I said I picked Cassiope to win Midlands.
And you're like, I don't even understand why it's a discussion. You said something like that. Like, I don't understand.
You also said like he could like catch Gable.
You also say
I did.
You
maybe I don't feel that way.
Okay.
You still feel that way?
No, he changed his mind.
Okay, good.
I said maybe I don't feel that
way.
Okay,
good. Okay.
If I have to answer one more question to my son about Anthony Cassiope and where he's going to be ranked, he will not shut up about Iowa's team next year.
How Cash will prepare himself mentally for that team title.
He did. I've done the Iowa versus Penn State duel. He's like, there's 3 matches that need to happen next year.
What are they?
Iowa versus Penn State. He's like, I'm glad these 3 matches are going to happen. He's like, I'm glad they're going to happen next year. Penn State versus Iowa, Ohio State versus Iowa, and Oklahoma State versus Iowa. He's so excited that those.
We're glad they're happening too.
Yeah, me too.
Oklahoma State versus Iowa almost always happens.
He's like,
the other ones don't.
I had to explain to him why they wrestle every single year.
Ohio State didn't wrestle Iowa this year, right?
Yeah, Big Ten rotating schedule.
Stupid. They should wrestle every year. Except that makes it really hard for those teams.
Yeah.
But they should just do what I say. It would be better. All right, LJ. Oh, there's that tone. I don't know what that is, guys. It happened a couple times.
Actually,
Maybe
it happened
someone's
right
getting-
at the show. Is
someone-
that the buzzer that says we're starting and we're stopping?
Is
it
that
telling us
is
to shut
that
up?
the? Yeah, I don't know what that buzzer means.
That's a nice playout music. They could be meaner with playout music.
Yeah, it's like a nice harp. Anyways, LJ, feel free to play us out, or, yeah, Caleb.
Play us out.
Yeah, we're ready to go. It's go time.
Will it be here Thursday?
Will you be here
I'll
Thursday?
be here Thursday. I
Sweet.
can commit to it.
We may have to wheelchair him in. Is the office wheelchair accessible? Yes, it is. There is a ramp around back. Do you know where I'll show you where the ramp is after the show.
A ramp
That'd be a
for
fun
what?
segment.
My gout foot?
For your gout foot, in case you have to be rolled here. Because the downward trajectory of your overall health is a little concerning.
Alarming.
That'd be a funny segment to start off. It's like really.
I will
really
tell
well
you
done.
what. Thank you all you listeners for the DMs I get
The gout
about
racks?
gout prevention and gout blah, 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 blah.
They all probably start with, yeah, my granddad has gout, and here's what we
Okay,
did.
you want to hear this one?
Yeah.
My brother-in-law is in his mid-30s and has been dealing with gout for years. He's also a marathon runner and in the best of health.
There's no, you cannot be in good health if you're a marathon runner. I refuse to believe. You have a very flimsy body. Those people, their bodies break down very, very young. It's horrible for your body to run that much.
And Willie, what have
I
you
do
been
have-
We're
telling?
ready for the music. I
what
haven't
have you
heard
been
it yet.
telling all of these people that give you advice?
What have I been telling him?
Yeah.
Hopefully, thank you.
I'm taking a lot of it. I'm
He's
drinking-
listening. Remember when he said I
No,
ain't changing?
you said I ain't
No,
changing.
hold on. Don't. Why are you setting him up to swear, Bracky?
Because I'm trying to get him to swear.
Well, stop. Beat you over the head with Casey Kreider's helmet.
It's the end of the show. We can do whatever we want.
I know, but except play the outro
This is-
music.
this is
Do
after
everything you
hours.
want except play the outro
Play the
music.
outro.
I'm waiting for it. They won't do it. I don't know if we just have to get up
Thanks,
and walk
Curly
away.
Gopher fan.
I don't know what to do. We're not playing the song. I guess we're just gonna go. No song this time. It's fine. They're not even talking to me back there. They just ignore me.
And here's a cut off Sting's new track.
Sting with a cutoff his new record.
What does that mean?
We'll see you guys. I guess we're done.